welcome back to the Catch All Media channel. My name is Andrew, and if you're watching this, I hope that you're doing well, whether it's your morning, your day, your night, whatever time of the day it is. I hope it's a good day for you. So today what we're going to do is a double billing review from Severin. We're going to do Siege and Burial Ground. So there's the cover of each. I've noticed that a lot of my videos have been going really long, and one thing I want to do is try to tighten that up and give you exactly the content that I'm looking to give you in a short amount of time. That way it's more digestible, it's easier to sit through as far as like it's not 45 minutes long, things like that. So we're going to give it a shot with this review today, something I'm calling a Severin double billing. If this goes well and I like this format, the double billing will continue as a series of its own. So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get it started with Burial Ground. This was released in 1980. Is an Italian zombie exploitation. I don't know if I just made that up. It's probably a thing. There's a lot of everything has a exploitation genre. But this is a zombie film made in Italy, released in 1980. It was directed by Andrea Bianchi and written by Piero Regnoli. I might be saying that second one incorrectly, but that's my interpretation of the name. So getting started with this, I want to say that this was a lot of fun. The next review we're going to do, which is Siege, is I think my favorite of the two, and probably my favorite Severin release that I've seen so far. But Burial Ground was a lot of fun. I'll give you a short summary of the story with no spoilers, because the story is not really pertinent to the movie, to be honest with you. But it seems like there's the three couples that are going up to, one of the couples has a mansion, and they're going up to this mansion to have a getaway, I guess. It's never really kind of smoothed out what this is, what they're doing while they're there, but you can kind of infer. I mean, they're going on a trip. They're going to this mansion. So they get to this mansion, they unload everything, they go in, and we get a shot of this excavator or some kind of I think he's an archaeologist or something. Some kind of guy that works at this mansion, who's like a groundskeeper maybe. I have no idea. Anyway, the guy works at this mansion, and he goes down underneath into some caverns, and he starts knocking on this wall with a pickaxe, and you see like a tomb slide open or something. And then he turns around, and there's just zombies. And the first shot of the zombie, it zooms right up on him, and he's just standing there. And the zombie effects they're not terrible. At first I was kind of thrown off by them because they're not what I'm used to, as far as like, even with these older exploitation zombie movies, a lot of them have great graphics. Or I'm sorry, not graphics, effects for the zombies. But the zombies in here were not the most advanced. And you'll see it once you watch it, but still a lot of fun. So that's how the zombies get out. And I will say that as far as zombie movies go, they don't waste any time. The zombies are into this movie maybe 20 minutes in. We get a small little background with some of the characters interacting, and then the zombies are in full force. And one of my favorite shots in this whole movie was probably about 5 minutes into the zombies being on screen. They do this long, probably 20-second, maybe even 30 seconds long shot of these zombies just skulking through a garden or courtyard, and they just leave it. They just let the scene breathe. And the zombies, it's like we're almost there for way too long. We're just watching these zombies just. And I will say that the score that they have in this movie is actually pretty good. Like, I like the song that plays throughout the majority of it. But that's one of my favorite scenes, I think, through this whole movie. But it's a zombie movie, so people start dying here and there. I don't want to spoil anything too much, honestly. I mean, it's a zombie movie. I don't know how I can really spoil it, but these two characters on the front, it's a mother and a son. So in these three couples, there's a mother. I assume this would be this kid's stepfather, because it doesn't seem like it's his dad, because of the weird relationship that they have. But it's this mother and this son right here. That this little kid is creepy as fuck. Like, he's weird as shit, and it plays through the whole movie like that. And they have a scene and a whole dynamic in this that plays out towards the end of the movie that is just so fucking ridiculous that you just love it. Like, this movie, I kind of swayed me for the first 45 minutes or so, because I was like, damn, this is just kind of shitty. Like, it's schlock, but it's just kind of not well done, even for schlock. But then they really won me over. So by the towards the end of it, there are some scenes that are really really entertaining with these characters and some other characters as well. I also need to note that the dub on this, like from maybe a minute in, the first set of dialogue, the first scene you get with anyone talking, you can see how terrible the dub is. Which doesn't really take away from it, because a lot of these Italian movies have shitty dubs, because they would, obviously, you guys probably know, but they would record these in Italy, and everyone would just be talking in their own language for the most part, because they would have to dub it in studio because of the way that films were released in Italy, especially because I believe that originated during World War II with, what's his name? Oh, it's slipping. You guys go ahead and just tell me in the comments. This is bad. I was a history major. Anyway, the Italian dictator during World War II, I believe this was all kind of like started during that, so they could censor what was being put out, and things like that. So the dub is awful, but it doesn't matter, because if you've seen Italian movies, you're used to it. But overall, I would say that this was really enjoyable. I did have a lot of fun with this. Like I said, it's not a very, the story is non-existent. The story doesn't fucking matter. You don't need to follow a bunch of plot threads, and there's no callbacks. There's no, foreshadowing. It's not really anything like that. But what you're coming to watch this for is the campy design of the zombies, and some of the campy effects that, have a charm to them, because they're not trying to be over the top crazy technical. They kind of know, I think with this movie, they kind of understood what they were, and they just tried to do it as best as they could. So I had a lot of fun with this one. So I would give Burial Ground 3 out of 5, because it was really enjoyable, but there's nothing that's going to draw me back to this. Like if I want to watch a zombie movie, I'm not going to put Burial Ground in before I put, Dawn of the Dead, or even Dead and Buried. Dead and Buried was a lot of fun too. So I would recommend picking this up. And that's pretty much what I have to say about Burial Ground. A good time, worth you buying or streaming or whatever. I don't judge however you want to consume this, but I would definitely check this out. All right, next up, let's talk about Siege. This is an action movie that was directed by Paul Donovan and Maura O'Connell. This was released in, I believe it's 82 or somewhere around there. Yeah, 1982. And this is a action movie that is set in Halifax, Nova Scotia, where there is a police strike, and that's kind of like the setup of, that's exactly where we start in the movie. You see that there's a police strike going on. There's no cop presence. They're kind of playing up the fact that the citizens, and there's a news anchor that's kind of talking about like the unrest that people are feeling, because they're worried about what's going to happen after the sun goes down, and there's no cops in the city, and there's some picketing going on, and there's some cops that are kind of enticing the picketing from the other cops, and they're kind of egging it on. So there's just kind of a feeling of unrest, how we start this movie, which I thought they set it up really well. And then to just kind of, I want to leave this very spoiler free, because I really do recommend this. So to kind of skim over it, the story here is that on this night, this group of skinheads pull up to a bar, and they go inside this bar. It is a gay bar, which is only important because of the reason that they're there. So they're at this gay bar because they want to go heckle the gay people in the bar, which is fucked up, but that's how the movie goes. So they go in there, they start harassing these guys and heckling them, and it kind of plays out. Things escalate from there to the point where they are chasing one of the bar patrons around the streets and trying to capture him. And he ends up making it to this apartment. When the guys show up to the apartment, they try to convince the people inside that this guy's crazy. He's killed a bunch of people, and that's why they're trying to track him down. The people inside kind of go back and forth for a second, and they decide that they are not going to let this guy out. So that's where the whole siege aspect comes in. So then you have these people in this apartment versus this other group of guys, and they're definitely mismatched as far as weapons go and things like that. But the way the movie plays out is they kind of they compensate for their lack of weapons with their wits. So with that setup already, it was very, very intriguing. It is a B movie I'm not positive it's a B movie, but it really feels like one. It's a lot of fun. The story is actually pretty good. There's not you know, they left it pretty simple. You know what I mean? Like it's not you don't have a lot of sophistication in here, but there are a lot of great characters. So even like the bad guys, some of the characters are very fleshed out in the fact that they're strong performances. So it's very entertaining throughout. The special effects are not great, but it doesn't take away from the experience in the movie at all. Like when they shoot the guns, all you hear is pew pew pew, and it's comical, it's hysterical. But it didn't take me out of the moment at all. And you know, the action scenes in this, and some of the tension and the drama, and the red herrings and things like that. It's a lot of fun, and there's a dusty finish towards the end where you think it's over, but it's not. And then is it? No, is it? And then it ends how it ends. So I don't want to get too heavy in this because I don't want to give you any more information at all. I want you to go into this with the feeling that it's going to be fun. It's worth a watch. It's worth putting in your collection, especially the Severin release. It's really nice. These Severin slips are very difficult to slide on and off. This and Burial Ground both have really tight slips. So let's see. You can kind of see it there. I mean, it's just like once it gets about right there, it's just really tight. But I do like this slip cover. With some of these, like I've had issues with some Funimation releases, like Dragon Ball sets, with the slip covers being just ridiculously tight. And I don't want to spend too much time talking about this, but it is part of this review for this release. So getting back to it, the slipcover is really nice. I reverse the artwork. So there is the reversible artwork. And then on the inside of the artwork, we'll do this quickly because I don't want to take a bunch of time. I'm trying to keep this quick. There is your inside artwork. So overall, I definitely recommend picking this up, guys. A lot of fun. You won't be disappointed. This isn't one where you feel like you'll get burned by Severin, which I have been burned by Severin before, but these two releases I'm very happy with. So those are my thoughts, guys. Burial Ground and Siege. This is a Severin double billing, as the title or the intro video says. I had a lot of fun doing this, so I'm probably going to end up doing some more just like this. As far as like, you know, like I'll probably do a Vinegar Syndrome double feature because I just watched The Caller the other day. Fucking wild. And I'm planning on watching another one. Probably, I have a few I need to watch, but I'll probably end up watching Deadly Games next. So yeah, those will probably be my next double feature coming at you. And I appreciate you guys checking this out. If you have seen these and you have any thoughts on them, let me know, because honestly, I'd love to hear what you guys think about Burial Ground. Siege, I've heard a lot of people say they love it, so I know a lot of people, that's kind of how they feel. But Burial Ground, I'm interested to see what you think. So if you have seen it, let me know. If you haven't, I recommend picking both of these up. Burial Ground, I would try to find for a little bit cheaper or wait for a sale, but Siege, I would definitely pick up all you can for a decent price. But that's going to do it, guys. I appreciate you checking in, and I'll see you guys in the next one.